Some really interesting new news about how Americans and workers are feeling about their workplace. It's going to put this up there on the screen. Workers are happier than they have been in decades, mostly because of labor shortages and shifting expectations, leading to improvements for millions. So, the data here is absolutely fascinating. Of the survey of 1,600 workers was conducted in November, what they found is that unemployment remains low, and the decline in job openings suggests that workers might have fewer options and might be feeling more anxious. But what they instead found, Krystal, is that we are at the highest level of worker job satisfaction in modern history, up to 62.3%. From that data shows that that is up from 60% in 2021 and 56% in 2020. What they found is that the people who are the happiest are those who voluntarily switched jobs during the pandemic and individuals working in hybrid roles with a mix of in-person and remote work. Male satisfaction is higher in the workplace currently with every component, especially in areas such as, quote, leave policies, bonus plans, promotions, communications, and organizational structures. And really what they show here is that the main thing that gives people work satisfaction is a sick day policy, a bonus plan, mental health benefits policies, communication channels, and promotion policies. Those are like the 6 top things of promotional policy, or sorry, of worker satisfaction policy. But really what it underscored to me is when you give people optionality like hybrid work
Yeah.
or volunteer switching jobs for higher wage, people are happy.
When people feel
Shocker.
like, yeah, I mean, I
Yeah.
think there's a couple things, right? You look at, okay, what's changed to make this landscape feel better for America's workers? First of all, the lowest paid jobs are actually the ones that have seen the largest wage gains. So that's significant for low wage workers. People who are sort of in the middle of their career, they're the ones who are most likely to benefit from these hybrid work schedules.
Yep.
And to your point, a key component of happiness, not just in the workplace, but in general, is people feeling like they have control and say over their own lives. So even the fact of being able to pick, like, how many days I'm going to be in the office, how many days I'm going to be at home, having that level of flexibility and optionality and control over your own life, which is something that you should be able to take for granted, but obviously many people can't. That contributes to a sense of happiness. That's one of the biggest shifts that they say. The biggest year-over-year increase in satisfaction came from work-life balance and workload, which gets to some of what we talked about with the pandemic, sort of resetting people's values and their priorities. And then with the hybrid work options, they're able to implement some of those revised priorities into their work-life balance and into making things work. And so I think those are important pieces of this. I also think another part is, during the coronavirus crisis, there were a lot of people who were forced to switch jobs. There were a lot of people who decided to switch jobs. And of course, it's always, nobody wants you to have to switch jobs. No one wants you to be out of a job. But when you do switch jobs, number one, that's when you see your largest salary increases, when you switch jobs.
Yep.
And number two, that appears to have resulted in people more affirmatively choosing the work that they're doing. So they're shifting maybe out of like frontline service worker into warehousing roles that they're finding more fulfilling, or have higher wages, or have a more predictable schedule. So the fact that so many people were sort of like forced into a new situation seems to have, on the end of it, had a silver lining of improving people's quality of life.
That's actually the part I found most interesting, is that a huge portion of the people who got laid off in leisure and hospitality left to go work in logistics or warehouse chains like in Costco, where, quote, the hours and the pay are better. You've got stable schedules, you can plan for childcare, transportation, not dealing with irate customers, and it's a more pleasant working environment, which leads to 2 things. A, Costco has to pay more to lure some of these people over. And B, the people who do want to work in service industry are getting paid a ton more because the available pool of workers is not there. It's a lot easier to deal with an irate customer when you're getting paid, let's say, $20, $30 an hour with tips, and $2 an hour with, effectively a real wage rate of like $15 per hour. So you're basically getting a double raise in that. And then you've also got a lot of white collar workers who love hybrid work. It also does kind of underscore to me where the job satisfaction amongst full remote workers doesn't appear to be that high. A lot of full remote workers appear isolated. They don't particularly like it. They don't have that connection. Hybrid, to me, seems to be like the best of both worlds. You got a little bit in person. You still have some company culture and all of that, like maybe say 3 days a week, but you've got enough where moms and dads can figure out who's going to pick somebody up or drop somebody off and work their, dentist appointment into the lunch break, et cetera, and still get the job done. I think that's probably the best of both
I
worlds.
think it also depends a lot on
Yeah,
where
it depends
you
on the
are
person, too.
in your career,
Right.
you know, because I think if you're early in your career and you're just getting into that office culture, maybe you prefer more in person. If you're, you know, mid-career, you may prefer more of that hybrid or even remote work schedule. I think it just really depends person to person, which is why having the choice and the flexibility is what really, you know, people are sort of looking for and responding to here. So I think we have to put the other like negative side of this out there, which is that the fact that there's a tight labor market, which makes it a lot less risky if people do want to change career paths. That is something that the Fed is actively looking to destroy. So this improvement in quality of life and worker happiness may be short-lived if they continue down the path that they have been on.
Yeah, agreed. All right, we'll see you guys later.
Hey guys, ready or not, 2024 is fully upon us now, and Saagar and I have been brainstorming ways that we can really up our game for this critical election.
Yeah, we rely on our premium subs to expand our coverage, to add staff, to upgrade the studio. We just want to give you the best independent coverage of this election, which is possible. So if you can help us out, become a premium subscriber today, breakingpoints.com, or the link is down here in the description video. It really means the world to us, and if you like what we're all about, this is the best possible way to keep us 100% independent, working only for you.